Hello, friends. This story is so American. It has religious fundamentalism, it has police brutality, and yes, even the war on drugs. I had to read the story a couple of different times, check a couple of different sources, because it seemed so strange. It seemed so strange that I was wondering if it was real or not. Let's take a look at this story. At first, I thought this was a Florida story, but it's not. It's from Tennessee. Judge gives okay to lawsuit against ex-Hamilton County deputy accused of baptizing woman after a traffic stop. A quick summarization. What's her name? Sheila Marie Riley, minding her own business, was targeted by this deputy, former deputy. He found a roach, a small marijuana cigarette, in her car. And then he said, look, we can do this one of two ways. I can either, we'll bring you down and book you, and you'll spend the night in jail until you see a judge, or I can baptize you and I'll just give you a citation. So the woman agreed. Miss Riley agreed. They went down to the local pond. The officer calls his buddy, who's another officer, to be a witness. And of course, in the age of smartphones, the other officer recorded the incident. This happened in 2019, but the lawsuit, the $11 million lawsuit, is winding through the court system. Let's dig a little bit deeper. A U.S. District Court judge gave the go-ahead Thursday to a lawsuit against former Hamilton County deputy accused of baptizing a woman against her will after a 2019 traffic stop. In addition to ruling the suit against Daniel Wilkey, 28, may proceed, Tennessee Eastern District Court Judge Travis R. McDonough ruled that several aspects of the complaint against former deputy Jacob Goforth, that sounds like a fake name, but that's a real name, everyone, could not continue. Wilkey allegedly called Goforth to witness the baptism, and Goforth recorded the incident on his phone. So Goforth is not going to be tried, even though you can easily say that he was complicit in the crime. At the very least, he did not protect Marie Riley's rights. Let's see. I'm going to jump to actually what happened when they were at the pond after Ms. Riley was apprehended by Wilkey. So now they're at the pond, about to get baptized, and we're joined by Jacob Goforth, who Wilkey said was there as a witness. According to Riley, that is the victim, Wilkey stripped down to his underwear and led her into the lake, where she walked in up to her waist before Wilkey placed one hand on her back and another on her chest, submerging her underwater. Of course, it's full body baptism, right? It would have to be good old-fashioned Baptist, going in, going out. The pair then walked out of the lake and dried off, and Riley said she was then charged with possession of a controlled substance and given a suspended sentence. WTVQ reached out to the Sheriff's Department and obtained a copy of the complaint against Riley. The department's statement did not mention the baptism, surprising, saying only that Riley had been pulled over for tinted windows and obstructed license plate violation. That's a BS charge right there. Riley is suing for $1 million in compensatory damages and an additional $10 million in punitive damages. And you know, what kind of we've covered police brutality here in the States many, many times. And while both of the two men are no longer working as police officers, does that really disincentivize police departments not to really crack down on this kind of behavior? Because when you think about it, they will not have to pay the $11 million in case the victim wins her lawsuit. It's going to be the town, the small city that's going to have to pay. The lawsuit against Wilkey and Goforth accused both men of excessive force, assault, and intimidation, among other charges. Ultimately, claims against Goforth, and once again, he's the person who was the witness and who recorded the whole thing, individually for unreasonable search, failure to protect and render aid, negligence, battery, assault, and intentional infliction of emotional distress were dismissed in the judgment. I'm going to say it again for the cheap seats, in case you didn't get it, that the person who was there, who watched his fellow officer abuse this woman, isn't going to have any charges filed against him in this lawsuit. On Wilkey's baptizing of the woman, the judge said it violated the woman's choice of religion, as well as violating the state's own deputy to respect the victim's choice. Goforth had said he believed, so this is Goforth's excuse why he didn't do anything, even though obviously this woman's rights were being abused. Goforth had said he believed the woman to not be under police custody because she arrived at Saudi Lake in her own vehicle, but the judge stressed in his ruling the woman might not have thought she was free to go until she was baptized by Wilkey. The judge went on to say that in view of all the circumstances surrounding the incident, a reasonable person would have believed she was not free to leave, or would feel free to decline the officer's requests or otherwise terminate the encounter. There are genuine disputes of material fact concerning whether the woman was coerced into the baptism, whether she would have. Oh, that's just insane. Because look, we know how bullies operate. We know how we've seen so many different police abuse stories here on this channel that it's all about being able to deny the charges, right? That's what the police hide behind, their immunity. And this judge, by not charging Goforth, seems to be feeding into the idea that the police can do whatever they want, and that a police officer doesn't have to check the actions of another police officer while they're doing something illegal. This is from the judge. If citizens are subjected to state-sponsored religious exercises, the state disavows its own duty to guard and respect that sphere of inviolable conscience and belief, which is the mark of a free people, the ruling said. Baptism of detainees by law enforcement officers runs directly counter to the government's substantial interest in guaranteeing the free exercise of religion without government intervention. Any seizure for the purpose of conducting a baptism intruded upon the woman's liberty without furthering any government interest and was therefore unreasonable. My friends, it is clear that if religious fanatics ever take over the government of the United States, as they came close to on January 6th, then their argument will be, it is, of course, in the government's interest to further the ends of gentle Jesus by forcibly baptizing infidels. That's not too hard to see in the handmaiden future that could lie before us. You're not going to be surprised at this. Wilkey faces numerous lawsuits in several cases involving alleged excessive use of force, including the alleged unlawful body cavity search of a man while performing a traffic stop and the alleged groping of female minors. The requested damages, as we went over, total around $11 million. According to Hamilton County court documents, Wilkey has been indicted on 44 charges, including 6 counts of sexual battery, 2 counts of rape, 9 counts of official oppression, extortion, stalking, and assault, among others. How long did this go on before he was taken off the force. Obviously, it lasted for too long. And why? Because the police have too much power. There's no citizen or very limited citizen oversight of the police here in the United States of America. The police need to be supervised. The concept, the idea that the police can monitor themselves is absurd as the Catholic Church being able to monitor itself or Wall Street being able to monitor themselves. I'm going to check out the chat here. Just see how everyone's doing. Well, this is, City Plaza, you're right. What amazes me is that nobody cares about the billions paid by cities and therefore the people every year in settlements with the police. You would think that people would be a little bit more upset. While the gas prices go up a bit, inflation goes up a bit, how much money is wasted in defending crooked police? Billions of dollars every year. And Big Zebra says, I need the help of the police. I lost a set of keys and need a cavity search stat. That sounds like a personal problem, Big Zebra. Hey, everyone, winding down to the end of the show. There's the after party, after show at 9:30. If you want to be on the panel, the link is in the description below. If you just want to watch, if you're into that. The link to the channel, our sister channel, is down there, and that's where you can see the after party. What are we going to talk about? I don't know. We could be talking about anything about the guided missile cruiser. I believe it's a cruiser, the Moskva, that got hit by the Neptune missiles in the Black Sea in the Ukraine-Russian war. We could be talking about that. That's an interesting story. Or we could just be talking about anything. That's what goes on. And I just want to mention, no ads on this channel, right? We're not going to subject you to Amazon ads. However, in case you want a VPN, right? In case you want, to level up your internet security. And if you want to help out a little bit, there's a link to NordVPN, highly rated. You can, at no added expense, you get a special deal. And then I get a couple of shekels, a couple of pennies. On that note, I'm going to drop a cat video. I'm going to throw a thank you video for YouTube members, for patrons, for people who toss me shekels, pennies, dollars, maybe. Links to my Venmo and PayPal are in the description. I'll see you at 9:15, and if not, maybe I'll see you tomorrow at the same time, 9 a.m., Monday through Friday. Take care, everyone.
How in the world can people not like cats? Like, look at this. Look at him. He's adorable.